just enroll with the parallelly with the FWC membership.
Okay, so Bala, I think it's very similar to how you would just push a wallet. You'll have to just pitch the wallet there. It's up to them to like take it on, and then there is an internal reference and referral code that is used within the wallet. I think they'll have to just continue to use that the way it is. If there is any special integration, it has to be done. We'll have a meeting on that on a separate time, because right now we will have the
Yeah, I'm
meetup
just
for.
trying to think how is that crypto related. I'm just trying to think how would that benefit Zapit.
No,
Yeah,
see,
go on.
any referral points they want to convert into any kind of
What we can do is we can integrate with SLP tokens, so it's very easy for them to track on the blockchain, like how many members there are and things like that, and who has how many tokens. It could actually be a unique token for each new member. Right? So no two tokens are identical. So they know that there are this much amount of referrals actually which there are. So they don't have to maintain their own system of referrals.
okay.
They can check that on the blockchain directly, and it doesn't cost them that much. We can help them with the token economics for that.
Okay. So
And that can happen on Zapit. So the networking, so the sharing of referral through the token can happen on Zapit. I
so
guess in
you
that
just
way.
understood. You just let me know how to initiate this.
Sure. I still have to. I'll have to go through the referral program, how it could be added into the SLP. Once I get to know that, maybe we can have a chat about that.
Okay. So any commercials is there? Is please let me know, because we will ask the people to enroll with our Zapit wallet also by paying some fee, something like that. Then they can keep the stock, and they will add their referral points also in the thing, and they later they can use it in any useful manner, whatever it may be.
Sure. If it's a good project, then we can make them what do you call it? Feature token. So yeah,
No
people
issue.
know.
Cool.
Okay, I think we can start the meetup. I'm just going to post this on Facebook also. Good evening, guys. Welcome to the Insta Crypto Meetup. We're going to be talking about cryptocurrencies, financial independence, especially today because of the day is the Independence Day of India, and Insta Crypto being an Indian crypto exchange. That's one of the main topics that we're going to be talking about. How financially, crypto helps people to be more independent and more free from the controls. So, welcome to the meetup, and my name is Vikram. I'm the CEO of Insta Crypto, and Insta Crypto is one of the India's non-custodial crypto exchange. It's as quick as anybody could buy, cryptocurrency online. Insta Crypto just moved from desktop to app, and today is the first day. Actually, we are going to be serving only via app, so the desktop version is no more available. Via app, we have updated the app to get referral points and user bonus and everything through our INC Inc token. That's an SLP token. So yes, welcome all you guys to the meetup, and we've been talking mostly about Bitcoin Cash and SLP because that's one of the most financially lucrative crypto tool that's available today for being used easily for finance and everything. Unlike the other tools that's available, which is like Bitcoin and Ethereum, which makes it harder for people to use it economically. So one of those things that Bitcoin Cash does better. So hey, welcome all, and anyone who wants to start about your topic on what you're going to talk about crypto, just go ahead. Sorry, just give me a second, guys. I'll be right there. So I may have to just switch off for a second because I'm having a little difficulty with my connection here. Just give me a second, I'll be right back.
Any new members want to introduce yourself and talk about your crypto journey,
I
please
think
go ahead.
Brajesh is Brajesh speak something. Is there?
Who is that?
No, he has gone. I think.
Yeah, I think we do have some new. I think Vishesh did not have a chance to speak. Vishesh, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, this is Vishesh. So I'm basically a new person for crypto industry. So I'm just trying to explore things and understand what can be better done.
Sure, good to have you here. Like,
Yeah,
what do you work on? So, what's your profession?
we manufacture conveyor belts and we produce films.
Okay.
So we are into this. So I'm a little. I want to understand better about the crypto industry. That is why I was part of it.
Sure. Do you have any specific questions? Like, do you
No,
what would you
nothing as
like to
such.
know about?
I'm very new for this. So let me
Okay.
explore
Okay.
this better. Yeah. Yes.
Sure. Do you have any crypto wallet with you?
Yeah. I trade. I do it in local Bitcoin sometimes.
No, I mean wallet. Do you have any wallet? I think local
No.
Bitcoin is an exchange.
No. I don't have an wallet actually.
Okay. The best way to actually start knowing more about crypto is actually by using it. And I would
Okay.
suggest you download a wallet.
Okay.
In here, because we talk a lot about Bitcoin Cash, I could suggest you the wallet that I've built, which is
Okay.
called Zapit. It's available on
Stop it.
Android
Okay.
if you
Okay.
have an Android phone. It's
Okay.
ZAPIT.
Okay.
Yeah, we basically you have the services built into the wallet. It's not just a crypto wallet. You
Okay.
can buy Bitcoin Cash. You can also sell Bitcoin Cash on the wallet. You can also
Okay.
make international transfers.
Okay.
But the awesome thing is we have UPI payments built into
Okay.
the app. So in any regular store, you can use Zapit.
Okay.
And for every single transaction that you make, you get SLP tokens
Okay.
as a reward. So SLP tokens are basically the token systems built
Mm-hmm.
on top of the Bitcoin Cash blockchain, similar to
Okay.
how ERC20 is built on Ethereum. If
Okay.
you know anything about that, so Ethereum has its own tokens,
Mm-hmm.
just like that, Bitcoin Cash has its own tokens, and we basically reward those tokens for every UPI payment that you make
Okay.
with Zapit.
Okay. Oh, nice. I'll immediately download it and have a
Sure,
look at
sure.
it. Yes.
You can ask for a referral code in this chat if you would like.
Sure.
You get tokens for that as well.
Okay.
Any other new members? VE. I don't know what your name is. Your username is VE here. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, this is Vinod. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I know a little bit about blockchain and all these cryptocurrencies, and I'm kind of right now looking into some of the exchange aspects and things like that. For that reason, I kind of joined this group.
Okay, good.
I
So, okay, go ahead, Vikram.
Oh no, nothing. I think I just got the tab fixed because it had discharged, and eventually I had to get this charging changed so that it starts continuing to work. So it's working fine now. And yeah, thanks for holding the meetup till then. And any more new people who wants to join in and talk about your interest in joining the meetup today? So we have another person here called V.
Yeah, it's Vinod. He just spoke.
Okay, okay, fine.
So I emailed you or I messaged you, Vikram, and I think I saw you in some Unocoin like founder list or something like that.
Sure. Tell me, Vinod, what is that you wanted to talk about?
No, nothing to talk about. But so I'm just trying to understand what are the challenges within India in building exchange related stuff, coming from payment gateways to banks and then regulations and stuff like that.
There's actually no challenge though. It's just like you have to understand that it's a new thing. So it's not necessarily the Indian government is ready with regulation for it. in terms of running an exchange, you got to have a way to run your bank accounts for an exchange also. So you got to have an incorporation that's done. So incorporation is regulated in India. You know how you want to have it incorporate like a private limited or a proprietorship. That you have to understand and make sure that you register that way. And once you have the registration, you get a bank account and you run the exchange depending on what trading engine or trading platform that you're ready with. So whatever that platform that you have, depending on that, you would be taking in and out of the fiat, and that part is open to use. You know that, right? So just a few months ago, Indian government, or not Indian government, I would say Supreme Court ruled clearly against the RBI, because RBI had put a ban on banks supporting the exchanges. But since there was a ruling against it, the banks are open with their doors and accounts for any crypto exchange. That means crypto has become 100% legal to be used as a trading tool. So you can open a trading platform and allow people to put in a lot of Indian rupees to buy and sell your cryptocurrency. And a lot of people are using it just for the sake of trading, like a day trading, to make income out of it. And of course, when you hold it as an asset, that's exchange is the place where you're allowing people to liquidate their asset and even buy an asset to hold it for themselves. So that way, it is open for Indians, and I'm glad that Supreme Court has done that, because till then there was an issue that is it legal or not. That part of it was always a question with people. Now that it is completely legal to trade, so the part which is to be used as payments is still not completely ruled as saying that yes, it's a legal tender in India. It is not a legal tender in India. Not necessarily like
The link
called
for
not a legal tender, but you cannot really. It's got a stand of like how gold is, right? Gold can be bought, used, sold, like traded, held as an asset, but gold is not a legal tender. You cannot make payments for anything like a big one, which is like
One question, Vikram.
go on.
The legal tender, it could be mean for different things for different people. Legal tender, technically, it means you cannot pay taxes with it. Um, but
Okay.
does it mean also legal payment mechanism?
So it is a legal payment mechanism, but right now to use it as a legal tender may not be possible. Like there is no way for people to accept cryptocurrency for you, like you said, in taxes. You be paying taxes in INR to show what you got as profits in INR. So the exchanges are linked with the banks, and the banks will eventually reflect your profits or your capital gains if you have sold your asset, right? So then
Right.
you inform your CA accordingly, and then you would be paying taxes on it. But of course, yeah, you're paying taxes with INR, not
But
necessarily
when
with.
you just mentioned legal payment is okay. That means merchants can accept Bitcoin.
So that's a good question. So the merchants are there in India who are accepting Bitcoin. You will be finding them on maps.bitcoin.com. That's one of the places. And there were a lot of merchants who were accepting Bitcoin even from the past. Like they didn't sustain, they didn't stay on for a reason, because in India, very few people are using crypto to pay. Very, very few.
But you are saying right now, if I open a shop and accept Bitcoin, that's allowed.
It is allowed for you because it's not allowed, it's not said that it is illegal, right?
See, my understanding with RBI regulation is
Yes.
the Bitcoin can be traded like an asset. However, Bitcoin is not allowed for tax payment, and Bitcoin is not allowed for uh, trading of goods and services.
I mean to say, can you explain a little bit on that, what you meant?
First one is clear, right? Because you cannot, I cannot send it to income tax department Bitcoin as like a payment thing. That's a legal tender. And the second one I mean is goods and services. For example, I open a stationery shop and I'm selling rice or whatever that is, but I will accept Bitcoin as a payment mechanism. That is not allowed, or is it allowed? Can you have? Can you tell us?
So that is something it is for people to try it out. So there were a lot of them who tried accepting, which didn't work out. I'm sure there were, and there are still some more who are there as merchants listed on your maps.bitcoin.com, like I said. So they
Mm-hmm.
are there to test it out. I have not seen any formal from RBI to say that yes, this cannot be used and or like there is going to be a regulation around it. There is no regulation around it. So that is still in the gray area where it's like the first way the Indian government had mentioned about crypto, right? They said it's a
Mm-hmm.
wait and watch policy. So this falls in that wait and watch policy. If they are waiting and watching, that means they want to see how people are going to be using cryptocurrency and eventually like regulate accordingly.
Okay,
There is no regulation around
sounds
it.
good.
So that is still in the gray area where
And can you
it's
see? I'm
like the
new here.
first way the Indian
I
government had
joined
mentioned
this
about crypto,
because I
right?
thought you're
They
part
said
of
it's a wait and
Unocoin
watch
and
policy. So
stuff like
this
that. Can
falls
you
in that wait and
give
watch
us
policy.
some?
If they
I
are
mean, at least to
waiting and
me, a
watching,
brief
that means they
introduction
want to see
how
how
your experience with
people are
that
going to be
exchange went. Are
using
you still part
cryptocurrency
of that and
and
stuff like that?
eventually like regulate. Well, I'm still part of it in terms of holding shares. Yes, I was one of the founders. Me and Sunny Ray are the founders of UnoCoin. We founded UnoCoin. We recruited Satvik to do a technical job. So it's still operational. It's one of the first exchanges. We got investment from Barry Silver, that's from New York. So UnoCoin was the first exchange to get crypto exchange to get funding from abroad. So there was like a big news and everything. So my idea to start an exchange was very clear. It is through a meetup, like exactly like this. And when you guys in meetup are trying to understand how to buy Bitcoin in India, uh, me and Sunny Ray together, we just realized that yes, there is a potential to have an exchange. That's the first step we should have. And eventually, we were hunting down for people to build it for us. So that's how everything went on. So UnoCoin was clearly an idea that came because there was something which is missing in India that people were hard to find. Like they would come to our meetups and then try and buy cryptocurrency, buy Bitcoin. I would say only Bitcoin because there was no other cryptocurrency then. So
Mm.
trying to buy Bitcoin from us. So we would give them for free in a way. So zero point 0.01 Bitcoin was given out as free so that they can try it out. But when they used to come and ask us for like, we want to buy a lot more and we want to buy for X amount of money and things, then we realized, okay, so the exchange is the important thing that we have to build. So UnoBit Solutions is what started with UnoCoin, and then eventually we got like Indus in Bank to start supporting us. I had like a couple of rounds of meetings with them because the manager of the bank didn't really understand what we were trying to do. And then I had to explain him the whole concept of what Bitcoin was going to be and how banks will be a crucial player in between to support this. And also, it's not like the banks were afraid of it. They were very open to it and they're understanding. And then Indus, like with open arms, said, okay, you can have an account. And then eventually we had this support system to start an exchange. That's how UnoCoin was built.
I
So
see.
of
So,
course, go on.
so Indus is much more crypto friendly, is it? Indus Bank.
I am sure they are at the level that we have spoken to. They've been very open and understanding about it. So I'm right now there are many banks which are open to it,
Okay.
right? So there were a few which was not pro crypto. So we saw that in the past, which was after the RBI had put a no to it in terms of banks. So that time we could see there were some banks were more against it straight away. So hey, today is the Independence Day. I think we should understand that crypto is not free, and not just for one or two. It's a global system, and then yeah, global system needs something which is decentralized, and that's what is crypto. So what's your background, Vinod? And I don't remember seeing your email. And what is that email that you sent me about? You were saying?
It's I sent you on Meetup only.
Okay.
And you said to join here. And yeah, my background, I worked in Silicon Valley most of my career, and then 2018 I moved to India.
Okay.
I
Where
worked
were you before?
California.
Okay. So what's the scene about crypto there?
So I got involved a little bit late in 2008, 17, beginning, something like that. And I'm sure you know how it is in US. But the thing, the thing is, yeah, I'm one of the guys who he, I mean, see the way Silicon Valley understands is like a technology thing, but they somehow do not understand the finance aspect of it. So the thinking that everything will be improved with a different coin. Different coin is actually very negative for crypto, or at least. So I'm even though I started with Bitcoin, Litecoin, and all these things, 3 4 coins. I finally moved to only Bitcoin because I don't see future in other coins. And from my standpoint, they will cause much more harm in. See, the end goal, the way I see is uh, state money has to be taken away from the state, meaning there should not be any currencies, independent currencies across the world. And to achieve that, it's better to have some uniform open source vision. Unfortunately, with all the other coins, there is always a centralized party, either some group of people or something. And the proof of what I observed is over a period of time is everything is getting more centralized than decentralized, both organizational wise and also in infrastructure wise. If you look at hash rate and everything. So finally, I kind of gave up on all these Ethereum, Litecoin, all these things. So when I moved to India, I was thinking. I moved in 2018. So I was thinking on something, but the regulations were not good and things like that. But now in like May or something, it opened up, right? So that's what you were talking about. There's a ruling which from Supreme Court which came out and says it's all good and everything. So that's kind of my background.
Okay, so in terms of understanding that you want to be with Bitcoin only and not other cryptocurrencies, you understand how real finance works, right? In a bank, you don't just go there for savings. You go there for current account, you go there for trading, you have a demat account, everything. So in cryptocurrency, every crypto has taken up a role to play in each of this. If you take Bitcoin only, like you said, Bitcoin cannot be a payments tool. Really, do you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think so at all. So, do you think an Indian person who wants to pay for a cigarette, single cigarette that you can buy here, of course, in abroad, in the UK and US, you cannot buy that single, but here you can. So, how is he going to make a payment for a single cigarette of 15 rupees or 20 rupees with Bitcoin?
Yeah, so see, the thing is, it's the way I see Bitcoin is like a Swift system. It's a big device under the hoods, and lot of things. See, for example, the way I see things is, of course, you can say it is very opinionated or it is my
No, I'm
own.
not saying it's opinionated. I'm just giving you
But
a
I'm
clear
trying to give you an
example.
example.
In terms of 15 rupees worth of a payment, when you do, you can't be paying 150 rupees as fee for it.
Right.
So that is
So
something which has to be tackled.
what I
Bitcoin then
mean is,
becomes an asset class.
yeah. So that issue was there for like a long time ago, 2 3 years ago, when things get lot of when the price goes, there's a lot of flood into the market and traders, and there's a lot of transaction on chain. But slowly they started this Lightning network, which is
Those are what is centralized systems, right?
yeah.
They are
See,
something that they want to acquire, customer base being centralized on top of Bitcoin, because they're trying to take advantage of the Bitcoin's small negative that is there, which is the high fee. So you cannot really make small payments. That means half the world or more than half the world cannot use crypto for their payments. So that's when I'm sorry, no, it's not crypto. I have to correct there. It cannot use Bitcoin.
Yes.
But that's where Bitcoin Cash and those kind of cryptocurrencies come into play, because now you're paying very small fee and zero confirmation time, and the instant you are able to receive liquidity and move it on. Unlike Bitcoin, that you have to wait for 10 minutes, and with the block delay, sometimes it may take up to 20-30 minutes. And that delay is not necessarily useful for a small payment. So when you have small payments,
there are two approaches taken by the community, right? One is on-chain transaction and another is sidechain transaction or something, right? See,
So aren't we coming out of sidechains, like where sidechain is all controlled as centralized entities?
yes. So the
That's
thing
what we were
is,
trying to come out of it. So when you are coming out of it, you can't go back there and give power to a small group of people to let you use that money like Bitcoin
yeah.
for small
So
micropayments.
yes, yes, I agree. However, given my technical background, see these whether it's a centralized or decentralized, uh, to argue in a puristic sense, it's a very binary option and binary things. Binary things generally do not work like extreme things, right? So Bitcoin as a protocol at the underlying level is a decentralized system. Okay. However, Lightning nodes are centralized. I agree with you on that. However, but it, the market needs to test how many people see right now. If you ask 95% of the people, nobody understand technology, wallets and all these things, right? Even crypto goes 20% worldwide, nobody will understand. For example, take computers. Even if you talk to a software engineer, he doesn't understand fully how these things are built. Okay. So centralized, yes, Litecoin is a centralized. Lightning Network is a centralized hub, but it is still better than completely centralized system.
Yes, a
However,
completely
under
centralized system is what is the flaw? The flaw is tomorrow if they don't like your face, they may just stop your payment.
yeah, but that's how
Lightning
many
nodes you can do that.
Lightning nodes are. There is not just one Lightning node. There are thousands, and there will be a millions Lightning nodes.
But aren't they
However,
all controlled by one person and one person's
no,
code is responsible for it and he
code
can stop it?
code
It's
is
like how
fine,
in
but
the
there are three
centralized
companies. No,
system,
you
in
have three
centralized system
companies now.
also you have many. You have Visa, Mastercard, Diners, PayPal, and all of them are different. But then you, as a power entity which is sitting on the top, they can ask everybody to shut down.
But there are,
It's just with the examples that we've seen. Julian Assange got stopped by all of this.
I
That's one of the
know,
reasons why Bitcoin became popular that year, because
right?
he got funded with Bitcoin
But
then.
Lightning Network is not developed by one company. It is developed by three, four companies,
Exactly,
and
three, four is still few.
yeah, see, for example, Windows Mac came into existence. It's a proprietary software, but everybody thinks this is a control. Soon Linux came into existence. Linux is open source, and Linux 80% or 50% of the whole network background software is done by Linux. It's open source. So open source will come out just because right now only three companies are there. You cannot expect those are the only three companies which will remain.
So you're saying Lightning being open source will be helpful?
Yes, it will.
But then who holds the funds? Who holds the real Bitcoin that you
Whoever
fund into
run
Lightning?
whoever runs Lightning network, for example, a merchant can hold. Right now, I could be a bank. I can see Lightning network open source. I can grab it and then I can build it and I can be owner of my own thing. There is no one who is preventing me. Just like
So you're
Bitcoin,
still
which is
giving your cryptocurrencies handover to somebody else. Your private keys is with someone else. Even if it's a small amount, but tomorrow when the price
right.
jumps, the small
Yes.
amount is large amount that somebody is
Then
holding for you. That is what we are coming out of, right?
right,
So
right.
to promote that is something that we talk about in this meetups. That's why we concentrate more on Bitcoin Cash and SLP tokens here. Even Ethereum is great. I love Ethereum because you are able to program Ethereum more than any other cryptocurrencies that are out there. It's
See
more of
that.
a programmable money. But
Right.
money as crypto, like with Ethereum, is a little less used compared to Bitcoin Cash. Of course, it is more better than Bitcoin itself because Bitcoin falls it more into an asset class, and when you're buying a Ferrari only, you'll be using Bitcoin. But if you have a choice in your wallet that you have all these cryptocurrencies in place, you would quickly use Bitcoin Cash if you're paying for a coffee, because
Yeah,
that's
but
where it is instant. That's when you're able to leave the shop as soon as you pay. You don't want to be hanging around waiting for confirmations. And if the shopkeeper says, "I'm sorry, I have to wait for 6 confirmations," that's it. You're spending an hour there. I will be spending an hour when I make a UPI payment, right? In India, we have UPI payments. What can you compete with UPI? Can you compete with Bitcoin with UPI? No way.
but
Bitcoin
again,
is
we are
totally different.
comparing apples to oranges. You are comparing Swift to PayPal or Visa. Okay, Uh, I'm saying Bitcoin is like a Swift. Lightning Network is like a PayPal,
When you
and
say Swift, what do you really mean by Swift? If you can explain, please.
it's just the transfer of funds, huge amount of transfer of funds.
That's what was put a ban on Russia. With the first sanction was a Swift sanction on Russia, right?
Okay.
That's why Bitcoin became popular between Russia and Iran in 2013, because that's when US put a sanction on Russia with Swift. You understand now, the Swift is a gone system.
Yes, that's.
Bitcoin,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm giving example. Like, if you compare between the old system where you have Swift and where you have PayPal, like all these credit card transactional companies, Swift is a settlement layer which happens once a day or something, where there's a huge transfer of funds. Okay, and on top of it, you have all these PayPal, Paytm, banks, yada yada yada, which helps you faster payments, smaller payments, basically.
Yes.
So that's what I'm trying to give an analogous to underline the Bitcoin is like that, and on top of it, Litecoin is like that. So
No,
if
no. So you gave the half of it is right. Swift is replaced by Bitcoin. That is 100% right, because at the top level, when you Swift is replaced, what cryptocurrency can replace that is Bitcoin, because it holds a large value. You can move large value around. It's not necessarily every 5 seconds or 10 seconds. It's once in a day, like you said, Swift. Here you do it maybe once in an hour with Bitcoin. But then when it comes down to your next level that you were talking about, PayPal and other things, who supports those to make them go out of the window, because they're all centralized systems? You don't like them anymore.
yes, see, there is
That is supported by your Ethereum,
no.
your Bitcoin Cash, and your altcoins that you said you may want to be out of it, because every cryptocurrency now plays a part in the financial world. How everyone have their own categories. UPI is the final category. When you make small payments, I'm telling you, UPI pays. I pay 10 rupees with UPI when I go to a late night tea shop. There, the guy with the cycle in Indranagar, he takes on his phone UPI payment. He takes only 10 rupees from me. Why? Because the payment is instant. The second part is the payment is free.
The same is
Free charge
Litecoin,
on it. And
but
who can do that in cryptocurrency, do you think?
Lightning node will do it.
No.
Yes.
You're going out of the system. Again,
I'm
Lightning
see,
is centralized, UPI is centralized. But we want to have an alternative for centralized. Then it becomes a cryptocurrency, right?
I'll ask you this.
Sorry, you didn't even understand the point. The point is UPI is a system which is very popular in India. Why? Because of two things: instant and free.
Yes.
Only then it's going to be popular. And if you're giving some alternative with cryptocurrency being decentralized, what can you offer? It's going to be SLP token, or it's going to be Bitcoin Cash. There is nothing I've seen cheaper than that.
I mean, okay, I don't want to get into all this Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin argument.
No, but you're trying to talk about Lightning
say,
Network, which is centralized. You're talking about decentralized systems,
how
right?
many Lightning Network is centralized for? See, it's like a checking account, credit card versus a savings account.
Okay, let's agree on this. Is Lightning Network centralized or not?
It is partially centralized.
What do you mean by partially?
Meaning the number of participants. It depends on how many number of participants in hosting a Lightning node.
I have a Lightning channel with me. It's called Blue Wallet. And do you think Blue Wallet is owned by one company or two or many?
Blue Wallet. I mean Blue
Eclair,
Wallet.
have you heard of Lightning Wallet, Eclair?
Yeah.
I'll just take a quick answer from a voting system from others. Whoever have heard that, Blue and Eclair, is it a centralized system or a decentralized system or wallet? Anybody who's listening, you want to answer that?
It's a centralized.
It is.
I can make few economic arguments here. First of all, okay, you said, which is true, right? I mean, if you get into the Lightning Network, the fees is low. It is instant. But I think the first point is what is important, where you have to get into the network. So how you said that the analogy between Bitcoin and Swift versus Lightning Network and PayPal. So the settlement happens in few days, right? So how often do you think Lightning, the channels will have to settle on chain? Like how often should the channels be opened and closed by, let's say, one user?
It could be once in a month.
Okay, so let's say everybody is opening a channel in a month, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a bunch of transactions on one day in a month, and the rest of the days there are no transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so the miners are getting no fees for that entire month.
Okay. So first
Yet
of all,
they're spending millions of dollars for that month.
yeah. See, we have around 7 billion people. Okay.
Yeah.
Every month there will be some that if you consider a person closing every month, there will be every day there will be at least hundreds of thousands of transactions,
Okay.
which has to be settled, or to a certain extent minimized, like
So, okay,
10,000.
you just made that point for me. So, on one day, there has to be hundreds of thousands of transactions that has to be settled on the BTC blockchain. Do you think 1 MB can handle that?
1 MB, I don't know what will be
No,
the
you just
eventual
made the
output.
point. You said a lot of people have to make the transactions either to close or open. It should either be daily or it should be in 1 day a month, right? It still adds up to a lot of transaction that's getting backlogged.
Right, right. So, see, argument cannot be like if you, I don't know what would be the actual number going per day, number of settlement on
Well,
the Bitcoin.
let's just say it's 1
However,
million. Let's just take a hypothetical number and say there are 1 million Lightning users.
it's very difficult to start with that hypothetical because
Why?
the reason why I'm saying is how the technology progress is. I cannot give you guarantee on that. However, there will be some load. So the approach which was taken was if you loosen the number of transactions to fit in per block,
Mhm.
soon there will be a centralization which is happening in Bitcoin Cash also. Okay, because there are only few
Not
miners who
really.
can host that node validation and everything.
Not
Not,
really. Have you checked the how many miners there are on Bitcoin
but
versus
have you checked the hash rate between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash?
Let me tell you
Yes.
why hash rate does not. Let me tell you why hash rate does not matter. Okay, well, I'll let you tell why hash rate actually matters.
No, it's just pure people are investing in hash rate, imagining that there is a huge value in Bitcoin network.
Do you know what the miners do with the Bitcoin once they get it? So they're mining. They're using their hash rate and they're getting the Bitcoins, right? Do you know what they do with those Bitcoins?
I don't know, maybe sell it.
Yeah, they sell it.
Yeah, they do.
Versus the Bitcoin Cash miners that don't sell it, which you
Yeah,
can clearly
I mean
see
it's
on.
yeah. If there is no market for selling it, who will buy it?
Of
Who
what?
said there is no market? It's in the
No, no.
top
What I'm saying
five,
is,
so
see,
I
at
don't
the end
see.
of the day, business has to make money. Okay, they might hold little bit and they might sell little bit. I'm not saying they are selling everything and everything. The reason of so much electricity is being spent and so much mining power is being spent on the network, meaning there is a people who wants to make profit out of it. You cannot
Yes,
make
true.
profit. You cannot make profit just holding the Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash or Ethereum. You can only
Yes,
make
you can.
profit.
There is a word
Why
in
why
dictionary that
can't
is
you
a
do
hundred
that?
called hodl. You
No,
make
why
profit.
why why can't you make profit? So,
You
for
cannot.
example, if you're spending, let's say, $1 million in dollars, but you're getting 1.5 million in Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash, that's a profit. You can spend
Profit.
1.5
See,
million.
when you say profit, at the end of the day, it means it has to serve your purpose, not the number of increase in tokens.
Not the
It
tokens.
has,
I said in dollar value. I'm just
yeah,
In
saying
dollar
dollar
value,
value.
yeah.
but nobody is buying. If nobody buys it, meaning nobody cannot sell it. Okay.
What do you mean bicep? So again, I think you're getting the philosophy wrong here. So cryptocurrencies are not to be used for just buying and selling, right? You use those coins, like you
For
spend it.
what?
You
Yeah.
spend it.
So exactly, that's my point, right? So
Yeah.
when someone is mining Bitcoin and they are putting so much effort, one way to spend is to buy electricity with it, or another way to spend is to buy dollars to pay out your employees or to buy your own house or whatever.
Which chain do you think has the most honest miners? Do you know what honest miners mean? They mine a particular chain regardless of what the profitability is. You
That
know,
doesn't sustain anything.
sorry.
I don't think that will sustain anyway.
No, because
No,
what
it
that
does. It
means
does
is if
because with
Bitcoin
time
stops
everything gains in
working,
value. We've seen
if
it in the
Bit,
past. Go
if
on.
Bitcoin stops becoming profitability, if more people are leaving the Bitcoin network to mine other chains, that's not good for Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, well, in that sense, I think Dash, Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin Cash has more honest miners.
let's see in 5 years down the line, based on all these statistics, who will hold the value both in monetary terms and these things. Up until say Bitcoin Cash had a lot of hype in 2018 or during that time, where it is one fourth of Bitcoin value.
Again, I
But
think I think the value is based on the network, and it doesn't matter
yes,
what the number of in the market cap is.
yeah, I mean the value. So at the end of the day, people wants an asset which is an appreciating. Okay, if there
Yeah,
is
they want an asset, but then that's an asset class. You understand? Bitcoin then sits an asset class.
yes,
What comes for Bitcoin Cash is a different class. It's an asset class, maybe only 5% of its value, but the remaining 95% it helps in an economic class, which is completely different to what Bitcoin can do.
yeah. So somehow, let's see. I mean, we don't need to agree on all the things here. 5 years
Yeah.
down the line, let's see. My bet is none of these coins will be useful. Uh,
So usefulness, it'll always have usefulness, but you are considering usefulness to be only those which have a high market cap.
no, no, no.
It
What I
doesn't matter
mean,
which has better market cap or
okay,
not. It's the
okay.
usability factor is
Let
different.
let me say reiterate this. Um, uh,
Let me
if
ask you this: do you use Bitcoin in your daily life? Like, do you? How often do you use Bitcoin? I'm not talking about buying and selling. I'm talking about using, like spending.
why do I need to spend right away?
Yeah, I guess that's the problem in economics.
No,
Something
it
to
has
be
nothing to do
usable.
with see if somebody if your house prices is going up, why do you want to sell it?
Yeah, but your
So
house is not money.
yeah, that's an
Huh?
asset
Again,
class.
say it again.
Again, Bitcoin
Say it
comes in
Your
asset
again.
house is
class.
not
You
cash,
said
right?
it
Like,
yourself.
No,
your
no,
house is not cash.
I don't know. I don't want to be bogged down with the literal terms of cash or not being cash. What I'm saying is, when
I mean,
you pose, just can I finish?
sure, sure.
So when you pose a question that why you are not selling or why you are not using it, because my thing is in the future the monetary aspect is much higher. So I there is for me there is no need to.
Sure.
Oh, which is good.
You
Yeah,
cons-
we also say the same thing. Like, you're not supposed to use Bitcoin. That's what we
you're
say.
considering that
Don't
as an
use
asset
Bitcoin
class.
Not
It
we are
owns an
not
asset.
supposed to. It's when the time is right, I can use it.
That's because you're using it
I
like
doubt
gold. That's
it.
an asset class. Now, what would you use as your credit card when you don't have
Yeah,
credit
I
card? When
can.
an 18-year-old
I
comes out
see
of his
again
college and he doesn't have credit
when
card, how does he
I don't
use
I
something
don't
to pay and buy and sell or
yeah.
pay?
So that's what I see. I see like all these the layer two solutions as like it will be distributed hubs. Banks will come. All these sort of different things will come over here, and they help in faster transactions.
So
Uh,
again, you're promoting a layer two to
I
make
think the
this
layer
happen.
two question is still not answered. When I said, when there is a bunch of transactions, you still get a backlog. I think that's still not
Yeah,
answered.
backlog. So we need to see it, right? You cannot keep on guessing on some number. Over a period of time, things
It's not a
change.
number. It's already happening, is what
See, for
we.
example, when Facebook started coding, they didn't think 1 million and start coding there. They didn't think 1 billion and starting coding there. They thought 100 servers, 100 people, thousands of people.
But
Okay.
you don't understand the point. Why would we allow a centralized system to increase its coding level and capacity level when we don't want a centralized system? That's what we are coming out of it,
But
right? You're
again,
already going back to the centralized system again,
centralized
letting them
system
have the
is
bigger
not at the
network.
base. What I'm saying is centralized system is not at the base layer. Okay.
So
It
If one
actually
thing,
is. It actually
it
is. Do you
is,
know
it
how
is,
many
yeah.
node softwares there are on BTC?
what?
How many node implementations are there on BTC?
I don't know.
There's just one. I mean, there are multiple, but 99% is mined by one. So that's a
Okay,
highly
give me
centralized system.
What do you mean by mined by one? There are so many miners, no?
No, no, no. What I mean is the node software. So all the miners use one node software, which
Whatever
is
it
the
is,
Bitcoin core. Yeah, but that's
it is
centralized.
it's a open source, right?
Yeah, but everybody is using one software.
So what? See, majority of the Linux distribution comes with the same foundation. Does it, and it is open source. Do we say it's distributed or not? Because everyone likes it.
Yeah,
Why?
but not everybody, not 99% does not use Ubuntu, right?
But people can change. It's a
No, they
open
can't.
source.
That's the point. The point is you
No, no,
cannot
no.
change because 99%. So
No.
what I mean is tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, if the core guys, which is the one node implementation, let's say doubles the supply of Bitcoin, all the miners have to run that because there are no other
No, there
implementations
is
that
miners has every liberty not to run it.
which will they run then?
They can have their own fork from the open source and do it.
So you're supporting forks.
No, no, fork, I mean source code.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when they edit the source code, which 99% of the miners are running. What will the miners run?
See, if they
You do know how downloading a particular code that's on one GitHub and running that means, right?
yeah,
You
but
can literally check that. You can go to coin.dance and you can check how many node implementations there are.
but see,
That's just one.
you can see it's a open source. If you want a different algorithm, they can change the algorithm and run it. There is no one preventing you.
Yeah, well, if all, I think you're not getting the point. What I'm saying is, let's say there are 10 miners, right?
Okay.
The 10 miners are running one code. Yes, it's open source. Anyone can run their own version, and there are multiple which businesses use, not miners, right? For example, if name any business, right? They probably take that open source. They make certain changes which fit their criteria, but of course, the consensus rules have to be same. So the moment consensus rule has been changed, there has to be at least another implementation that you can check with. Do you know what that means?
Okay.
What I mean is if they change the supply and majority of the miners run that, you can't do anything but just
But
follow
the
the
problem is everywhere with everything. Almost.
Not really. Not really. I
Okay.
think other cryptos have multiple node implementations.
Okay, let's see that. I mean, how
You can
far
see that.
this will go.
I'll just put this
A lot of
link
these
on there. You
things
can
are
actually check on it.
theoretical. Once we go out and
It's
then
not
No, that
theoretical.
Bitcoin itself was theoretical in the long run. Like long time ago, people used to say Bitcoin is theoretical, not necessarily it's going to be practical with people. But then
Okay.
it is already right there. In terms
Yeah.
of companies, Vinod, you've come across BitPay, right? Have you heard of BitPay?
Yeah, BitPay, I heard of it.
You know what BitPay does, right? BitPay does payment gateway for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So they were doing for Bitcoin only. Now they've implemented Bitcoin Cash. Do you know why?
They
Then
have.
you can check it out. Even Purse.io. Purse.io used to be a famous site. Have you heard of Purse.io?
Mm-hmm.
Purse, you have. So have you ever used Purse?
No, I haven't used trading or selling or anything.
No, Purse was not for trading. It was for your discount coupons that you could buy from Purse.
Okay.
And you would be paying with Bitcoin and get a discounted. So that means Purse was to promote a line before saying that if you're standing in Starbucks queue, by the time you get to the counter, then you can actually go to Purse and then pay with Bitcoin 80% of the value of the token, that coffee that you want to pay for, and then you will get that. Say $8 worth of Bitcoin you would send in Purse, and then you will get a token or a voucher of Starbucks coffee, which is worth $10. So you save 20% right away. So Purse was famous then. So what happened with cryptocurrencies diversion, like every currency becoming each sector of financial world. So Bitcoin became asset class. When it became asset class, suddenly you couldn't use Bitcoin on Purse.io. That means if you were sending Bitcoin for that $8 worth of coffee, for $10 worth of coffee, you're paying $8. You're paying another $5 as fee. So you're paying $13 for a coffee which is $10.
Again.
You're not even saving. You're paying more. So it didn't make
Probably you
sense,
can
right?
use Lightning Network. Those people can use Lightning.
No,
Network.
let me finish this. You're jumping into banks. Let's go to the bank. Let's go to the bank. No, dude, we already have decentralized. Why do we have to go to bank?
No,
So
all
you understand
solutions.
why then Purse had to take away and leave the crypto space is because they were getting killed by Bitcoin's not having a possibility to pay cheaply. So right now, Purse.io with Bitcoin Cash can flourish because now for that $8 payment, you're paying only like one part of the cent. So you're paying $8, getting a $10 voucher. So you understand what Bitcoin Cash was used right there as a payments tool.
Yes,
Now, Bitcoin did not become a payments tool. Bitcoin became an asset class. It
right.
became storage, store of value. You can hold it for longer term. And then, but for everyday use, right now, like the way you said you were going to be using card and payments like that for PayPal and credit cards, you cannot use Bitcoin there. You have to use Bitcoin Cash. So
Yeah, let's.
every cryptocurrency falls nicely in a category that in finance we don't see it because financially we're not literate. I don't blame you because most people in the world don't know about finances because it's nicely controlled that nobody teaches you all these things in school so that you don't question these about finance, why people have to hold our money. That's the point. Once you learn about it, then it's hard for you to give your control of money to somebody else. But
Yes,
then
but certain
life
amount
again.
for
And
the sake of certain convenience, certain amount is okay. I think
no,
that's my point.
convenience comes already. Why is there no convenience with Bitcoin Cash when you
Because
compare it with Bitcoin?
when the number of transactions start increasing, there will be never-ending increase of block size.
There will be. It's already proven that they've increased the block size to 32 MB. Why cannot you
Yeah,
do?
it won't stop there, and all of a sudden, only big boys can be part of that mining mechanism. No,
Who blames like who has a problem with big boys taking care of the back end for you still
because that becomes
decentralized?
centralized now.
No, that becomes centralized to being already centralized. Do you not know the difference?
Yeah, but right now, Bitcoin Cash
Vinod,
is
I just
heavily
like I don't understand the point. It is going to become centralized. That means you're hypothetically thinking that it will
but
be.
it
Let's
is
not use it
already
today.
centralized.
But you're
Bitcoin
talking about Lightning Network, which is
majority of
pretty
the
centralized.
Bitcoin
The
majority of
codes,
the
let's talk about the codes because if the person who runs the company holds the code, that means it's centralized already. Centralized Lightning Network is already held by the few people who hold the codes. So they're centrally running it. Why
at
would you
least there
promote
are
that?
how many
Right?
developers or how many companies who are building Bitcoin Cash code,
It doesn't matter. Even one company builds
The
it, there's
node
still open source
implementations,
code.
right?
there are more than
So
five
in a
node
way, you
implementations.
want to dodge that question, right?
No,
No,
but
there
now
are more
I'm
than
dodging the
five.
question. That
Can you hear
even
me?
if it is just one, you know, in Dogecoin, there is not even one. In Litecoin, there is not even one developer. But the
Right,
coin still fine, works fine. You pay a small amount of fee, you still make transfers and
right.
payments, value
Because
transfer.
nobody, no,
Can you hear
not
me?
much of transaction is going on in those chains.
What do you mean by much of transaction? It does already like 1000x compared to any one Lightning Network channel. I mean to say, Doge does 1000 times more. Your Litecoin does 1000 times more than one Lightning Network. So
I
that
need
means
to look
once
at
that
the
you
stats actually. I
oh,
need to look at the
I'm
stats
sorry.
how
Then you
much
should
and
look at those.
Lightning Network is
Then
comparatively
you're
new.
kind of calling us the liars. Then we are running a meter from a long time. We're talking
No, no,
about
no.
all
I'm
this,
not
giving
calling
you
you a
the no.
liars.
I'm giving you the facts. Then you have to go and check
I
these.
need to
That means
look
you
at
don't even
my.
want to. That
Oh
you don't
well,
want to even
we
consider that there is a point to
we
it.
there is a point that we should verify, not trust. No, that's
No,
what I'm
of
trying
course
to.
not. But then I thought you would come with some points at least to understand this
No,
few
so what
debates
I'm
that we're
trying
going
to
to
say is
have.
Lightning Network is fairly new. It will take some time
Oh
to.
my God, you're still going to the Lightning Network. What are you? Are you like a promoter of any particular Lightning Network? I would like to know because I'll try it out.
No,
Because I have tried out, like I said,
Hello.
Blue and Eclair, I have tried out. I have some money sitting there, but I hate it because somebody is holding my money. I would rather have my money sitting in my open source wallet, a decentralized wallet, right? I would rather have it in Zapit
yeah,
wallet
but
because
for
I hold the
me,
codes.
I'm okay if my 90% of or 95% of savings is in decentralized network and
Mhm.
5% is okay in centralized. I'm okay with that.
Totally. 5% is what even I have. It's because I want to test out, right? Because I want to give a chance to those guys. But they're really going to screw me over in the future when the Bitcoin prices go up. I will do that. I will leave about 5%. But then remaining 95%, I'm giving you this information is just going to be helpful to you. And there's no like cross checking, like you said, oh, I have to go to verify. Of course, you can verify to make sure it's confirmed to you. But these are the things that crypto is bringing out You don't have to depend on centralized system. One of the reasons why Satoshi Nakamoto wrote this code is because he wanted to get out of the centralized system. He put in the newspaper headline in the first block of Bitcoin saying that London mayors are going to bail out the banks again. What was that meaning of that? You understand that meaning is clearly the centralized system was so in control that they print their money and then keep it for themselves. Mayor is just going to sign it, that's all. Mayor has no control over those banks. The banks have control over the mayor and everything, and then that's the meaning of what Bitcoin started off with. So when Bitcoin started off that, and there are other alternative currencies along with them, which is also decentralized currencies, which is like Bitcoin Cash. You know, Bitcoin Cash is exactly what is Bitcoin is. You know that, right? It's the same codes. Till
Yeah, I know. Little
2016,
bit.
August 1st, it is the same ledger, cloned ledger with a different set of updates. The only update I will tell you, which everybody understands right here, is one block of MB space is there for Bitcoin to do transactions from August 1st, 2016 onwards, or 17 onwards, whenever that block fork happened. In Bitcoin Cash, the upgrade went to 8 MB from 8 MB to 32 MB. So the space where you hold a number of transactions per every 10 minutes is what increased in Bitcoin Cash. Otherwise, there is no real change. There's the same ledger. And why that block changed is
okay.
so that it can hold more
Why
transactions.
is again?
Sorry, Vinod, you're not letting me finish so that the other people who are there can also understand. So from Bitcoin to Bitcoin Cash, the only difference is Bitcoin still continues to hold 1 MB space for every 10 minutes. And in every 10 minutes in Bitcoin Cash, it allows 32 MB, so 32x. So the number of people who believe in cryptocurrency has gained in traction, in numbers. So the more number of people now come into space of cryptocurrency and understand decentralized system is what is moving forward. If you go and check in Australia, there are a lot of people doing payments with Bitcoin Cash, not with Bitcoin, because that 1 MB space allows only a few people to make transactions. Those few people now have to be rich people because they want to pay more in fee. The more in fee using Bitcoin means that Bitcoin becomes an asset class, like your asset class. If your painting is an asset class, an artifact that you buy, it takes a lot of money for you to move that painting from A to B. You have to secure it nicely. You have to pay more money to shippers and movers. It's the same way. Your Bitcoin is sitting as an asset class. Your space is 1 MB only. So that means only, say, hypothetically speaking, maybe it's just 100 people can fit into that 1 MB. Only 100 people can make transaction in 10 minutes. But now 100 people limit is very low for the world. The world has already understood Bitcoin and decentralized system. So they want to make transactions. When they come in, they fall in queue. And in the queue, clearly the Bitcoin update was replaced by fee. When you do replace by fee, people who pay bigger fee jump and go in front of the queue. So now it became a rich person's crypto only. So what happens to the remaining 99% of the people in the world who wants to pay small fee and get into the block? That is when Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, your other cryptocurrencies come into play. So you understand the idea that you said all other currencies are different to you. I'm just giving you an example of this is how finance works in the world. A payment system is booming today. Like how internet allowed communication system to boom. Do you think post office would have ever been able to handle that kind of a crowd of how many communications we do? No, never. Only internet can handle that. It's a similar fashion. Bitcoin now falls in that category where it will allow only a few group of people who have a lot of money and want to move more money. Like say, if you're buying a Ferrari, then you're paying 20 Bitcoins, right? At that time when you're paying 20 Bitcoins, $5 worth of Bitcoin is nothing to pay as fee. But then not everybody makes a transaction to buy Ferraris, house, bungalows. They're going to make transactions to make like UPI is shown. UPI is shown something in India, which you've just come into India again. You will see in future, in a few years down the line, what UPI has brought is dramatically different system, which US doesn't have, UK doesn't have. I lived in UK for 7 years. They don't have it, and they will never have it because they don't like giving simple transactions to people like that easily. They're just like always looking at how to control. So when you are coming in that mindset, then Bitcoin seems all right for you. But then when you fall into a UPI category, Bitcoin cannot help you there. You have to depend on Bitcoin Cash, SLP tokens, not even ERC now. ERC in Ethereum has become very expensive. Some 35, 40 rupees you pay for an ERC 20 token transfer, same as the Ethereum transfer. That's very high. But then if you're considering programmable money where you are actually sending a contract along with your payment, then for your contract to pay 30 rupees is fine. But when you're buying just a piece of chocolate or a cigarette, like I said, which is just 20 rupees in rupee value, it's only like what, 25 cents? When you're paying something for 25 cents, there is no chance that anybody would be happy to pay even $1 or 50 rupees or 100 rupees as a fee. It has to be small fee because now you're competing against UPI for that sector of people. UPI is used by people who fall in that sector. Somebody is using RTGS, he will not even know what is UPI, right? So this is the difference. RTGS is where Bitcoin falls in, UPI is where Bitcoin Cash falls in. So they're all coming into their own class. Trust me, your Lightning Network is nowhere fitting there because Lightning Network is a previous model where centrally one person holds the control of your money. Only because we are holding your money, we will give you a instant transfer for you. We will give you a free transfer for you, almost free that is. But still, you're controlled by one person, one entity. Your great examples are Purse.io and BitPay for that matter. If you check out what BitPay's business model had to be changed according to the way cryptocurrencies were moving forward. Have you ever worked on Ethereum in terms of being like building smart contracts or anything?
No. I see. I know a few people who started building on it, but then they gave up. Doesn't scale. That's what they did it. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these things. Let's see. I mean, 5 to 10 years down the line,
They
whether
all have, in 5 to 10 years, everybody will be happening because everyone will have their own niche class and then they will be using just that. Maybe they'll have all the cryptos, but in their portfolio to hodl. You know hodl, right? The hodl is a new word.
so
That
my thing is in 5 to 10 years down the line, the way I see is there's a for savings you have Bitcoin and for payments you have Litecoin. Sorry, Lightning Network, and things will improve in both the cases.
So, what do you think will happen to Litecoin and
All these
Bitcoin
things are
Cash?
pretty. I don't see much future for any of these.
What do we mean by don't see a future? Like, what do you think will happen to the coin itself? What do you propose?
No, it's like asking right now gold is the major market share of money system. What happens to pearls or what happens to other things? They might still exist. I'm not saying they won't exist, but they
Okay.
may cater to 1% or all these things.
So, okay, I understand. You're saying 5 to 10 years down the line, Bitcoin will stay and others may not, but Lightning will stay along with that. So you're giving a mixed signal in terms of one part of decentralized system will stay and one part of centralized system will stay.
Yeah.
Not that like most decentralized systems will catch up.
Well, see, that's the let's the market decide, right? I'm not going to decide anything.
No, the market is shifting to decentralized. Now, why
We'll
would market go back to centralized again? Is
we
why.
will see that, right? See, whether it's a centralized or decentralized is a puristic two endpoint arguments. Okay, it's an extreme arguments. It's like binary argument. Okay, I don't believe such arguments. Okay,
I understand that because it's a lot. It's very hard for people to swallow lot of these
so
conspiracy and understanding. I'll tell you one of these extreme
when
comment. I'll just quickly make this extreme comment also now. The reason this corona is there just to hide the financial downfall. Do you believe that?
I mean, I don't think coronavirus is risky at all. It's just
Okay,
like
you
cold.
understand that. I'm glad at least you said that because it is not very risky. It has been hyped. The hype and this news is to hide what is happening in recession. This happened in the UK when I was there. I was in UK in 2008 recession. That's what got me to believe in Bitcoin and start following Bitcoin because I read about Bitcoin in 2009. I bought into it at 11, even though I had not spoken to even one person. I'm not technical. I'm not a financial person, but still I got into it. The reason because I understood recession. So the corona is actually there and virus is there so that nobody goes and deep checks into why this recession happened, why this financial issue is happening. The more you check on it, the more you learn. So that people don't learn. This is a thing to keep you away from it. That's what is my belief. This is my extreme belief. Very few people understand that. but of course that's how it is. So in that sense, in future, we are looking at decentralized. That's what we're coming out of it, right? From centralized to decentralized. So in decentralized, there are many options. We don't have to go to Lightning, is what my say is.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, Romit has got some facts that's put out on the message board about what all is happening in the altcoin sector, which people like, if you say alternative currencies, even Bitcoin for that matter. So all of these cryptocurrencies are alternative to the existing centralized control. And you understand, like the gold, right? We spoke about this in the last meetup also. The whole gold's value, when you Google today, is about 9 trillion. When I Googled first ever, maybe not Googled, I learned about it. When I learned about it first time, the whole world's gold added to be only 7 trillion. Then I thought it was going to be around 8 trillion when I spoke in the last meetup. But when we really checked, it was about 9 trillion. The gold price has gone up a little, so it is 9 trillion. But then the centralized entity sitting in New York, which is the central bank of the world, which will not allow Indians to send money to Iran, that particular entity spent or made, counterfeited 5 trillion in just 1 month. Can you understand the depth of centralization, control? They printed the value worth of more than half a gold's worth in just 1 month. And gold has been there since thousands of years. And with all that thousands of years, the value of the whole gold's worth in the world is only 9 trillion. So that's the control of the centralized system. That's what we're trying to get away from. And trust me, it's New York and Federal Bank and they, who are the counterfeiters of USD, also have a clear hand in promoting Lightning, promoting alternatives to Bitcoin. Because when I remember right in 2013 and 14, when I used to hear about these conferences, when New York conferences to happen, the regulators in New York were probably taking questions on their ears and then asking their questions. But their questions were clearly, how is this Bitcoin trying to get us out of this control system? That kind of questions you can clearly listen and then understand, okay, these guys are now really fearing Bitcoin. Only because it's decentralized. And many times you've seen the way the developers are talking about, right? They're trying to promote a centralized system so that everybody gets a piece of pie and then forgetting the development part of it. But then that's the beauty of it. They're not the only decentralized developers. Bitcoin Cash developers, Dash developers, your any other alternative currency that's there, which is decentralized, those developers have better brains and then they know the idea is to bring this to the public, not another layer on top, because you don't need another layer. The layer of Bitcoin on blockchain, which is on-chain transactions, is what has to be popular. Because tomorrow you should be able to sit at home and send an IP transaction instantly from your phone and get your shoe design that you did at home instantly recognized globally that it is your design. Not that you send a picture and somebody copied the design and made maybe another Western big company will just copy the design, right? So who gets the easy access to write that IP on the global blockchain, on-chain, is when you do an on-chain transaction. That's what is decentralized, not Lightning. Lightning will not be able to do your IP, right, instantly. You'll only let you move from A to B a small fee, a small amount of value for a small fee. So yeah, in the UK, it's pretty similar in London. They're also one of those who had the control of the world. They were the biggest trading platforms or trading cities. They controlled the whole most of the world's gold. If you see a clear example of Venezuela elected guy is not able to withdraw his own gold from London. Instead, the guy who they want to control Venezuela is been given that gold. Why? Because London being the only market, it's a centralized market. Because of that, London plays a huge role in making sure they stay the centralized, big market, and they don't give importance to cities like Belfast, Edinburgh, Glasgow, your other cities which is part of the UK, but they don't get any recognition over London is because London wants to control the whole hub of trading should happen only from there for Europe on this side, and that side is New York, of course. And then they want to control that because they are controlling that they hold the gold. When they hold the gold, there is easy ways for them to promote that to hold gold because they'll say in future if Venezuela wants to trade again for liquid cash, it's better to have gold in a trading place, which is London. So because they did all that, they controlled it. Now Venezuelan elected prime minister or president is Maduro. He doesn't have control of his own gold, of his own. That means his people in his country worked hard to make that gold happen, and just because it is sitting in London, they don't get it. That's really stupid, right? That's a centralized system. We're trying to break away from it. And Bitcoin Cash does it really smoothly, really well. Because it is Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash is Bitcoin. I don't know who don't understand that.
I think.
So hey,
Ali has
I've got one of my friends here. I didn't get to speak to him. Sorry, Prajwal, go on.
Yeah, I think Ali has a question. He's saying if you're supporting IFP, I don't know what IFP is.
Where did you get this question? I'm sorry.
It's on the chat.
I was just. It's on the chat, is it? I didn't check that out. Well, I was going.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go on, Roman.
Okay. I tried speaking earlier. I don't know whether you guys could hear me.
No, we couldn't hear you at all. Just now I heard you.
Yeah, IFP is the infrastructure funding. Proposal.
Okay, yeah, this is the
BCH infrastructure funding proposal.
debate that's going on, right?
Yeah, I think the debate has ended.
No,
Today is the last date for basically locking up the code for the next upgrade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did it lean towards? Like, what was the latest that you saw?
Yeah, so ABC is going ahead with the
IFP.
IFP.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I read that BCHN will follow ABC if they continue to have majority hash rate. But if BCHN gets majority hash rate, then there probably will be a fork.
Sure. So they will continue if it is like 90-10 or 95-5.
No. So if ABC gets majority hash rate,
Yeah.
then
Everybody follows
BCHN
ABC.
might follow ABC, the ABC chain. Yeah. I think that's what I read. I'm not completely sure. We can only know once the fork has been passed.
True. So we'll wait and watch. So that way we've always been talking. The more debate that's there on Bitcoin Cash, the more decentralized it is. So you're giving everybody an opportunity to come up with their way. No central authority is just trying to pin down everyone and saying that, oh, this is what we're going to do, and then no debates on that. So that way, if you see this like more happening on Bitcoin Cash. But I guess whatever happens, eventually that there'll always be a possibility of scaling. So the first fork happened, and there was a friend of mine who was close to me, and he knew about crypto also so well. So he said, "Oh, this forks and all is going to be really bad, right?" But then that's the way of scaling in itself, I thought. Because
Well, it's the answer to decentralization.
Totally right. Totally.
If something is forking, then you know that it's decentralized.
Exactly. So everybody gets their part of it understood. Like if they're really so good about what they're saying, they can have their own piece of pie and then build on it and then get some adoption, get the network effect. And I think most of these folks and eventually all these altcoins will have potential because the sheer number of people that we have in the world. I mean, if everybody has to be served at a level, at a rate that the way it's going, like at the rate that the expansion of payments and settlements are all around the world is happening, it has to take on. So the SWIFT system that we were talking about, Vinod mentioned about right before. So the first blow that the federal bank took it on themselves was blocking Russia from SWIFT. That was the first ever sanction that they put on Russia. Because of that, it was a downfall for the New York itself, for the federal bank. So what happened eventually was Russia started building an alternative to pay other countries, including Iran, China. And just recently, about a week ago, the news that I heard was the trade between Russia and China is done with less than 50% with dollars and more than 50% with their local currencies and trade arrangements. So you can see in about 4 years, which they started off in 2016 to start with, doing trade without USD. In just 4 years, they have more than 50% is done without USD now. So the biggest losers are the federal bank because they had a nice control over it. Because they pushed the limits by blocking SWIFT system, it just didn't help them. Now, Iran and Venezuela are also great examples. Iran and Venezuela are running mining at their own government level. So that means the government has bought the mining machines. They have set it up. Their electricity is free, of course, government has electricity. And also there is another part of it, which in terms of mining that's happening. A lot of this mining electricity is now coming from free electricity, free generators that's been sitting there but not generating electricity is because there is no way to store this electricity in a lot of dams and places there. They're only switching it on like maybe half the time, and the remaining half the time now they can switch it on and use that electricity for mining. So that way the mining is getting free electricity. So like I always said in meetups, if from India we cannot, as personally when we talk about mining and a lot of people ask me about how we can try out mining, I never suggested mining to them because I tried mining in 2013 with of course UnoCoin team, and when we tried mining we realized it's not for us because we need to keep on pumping a lot of money to upgrade our hardware every few months and then continue to pay a high electricity fee. That's not going to be sustaining for mining from us. So as single entities or individuals, we can never do it. It has to be at a government level. So yeah, I couldn't address Wasim at all. Hi Wasim, are you there? You're able to hear us?
Hi Vikram, can you hear me?
Yes, I heard you.
Yeah, long time. Hi.
I know it has to.
Wait for some background.
Your kid is quite active playing today now.
Oh yes, that's the reason I won't get time to talk to any of these things.
No problem, no problem.
Yeah. So hi Romit, hello Prajwal.
Hi Wasim, what's up? How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Nice. So when is your Apple iOS Zapit coming up?
Apple has been giving us so much issue. They keep delaying our payment. They keep canceling our payment. So many times we have tried. It's been from 2 months we have been trying to make the payment. We literally told them, why can't you accept another payment method? Like, why is credit card the only... it's irony, right? We are trying to set up a payment system. We might as well offer them one.
Right, yeah.
Well, that's
yeah.
Nice.
Well, I think they will need support because centralized entities never lasted, right? Sony used to do that. Whatever Sony did from Japan, they're doing it via Apple now.
Do you guys know what happened to Fortnite recently?
No, go on.
They got kicked out of the App Store. So, do you know this Apple has this awesome monopoly rule that if you're big enough, right? If you have users making payments to you, they demand 30% of that as a commission. So if you're selling something for 10,000 rupees, 3,000 goes to Apple for every single transaction.
Wow.
30%. Yeah. So Fortnite basically found another way to receive the payments without having to give 30% to Apple, right? So they basically kicked them out of the App Store. They delisted them. And soon after that, even Google did the same. So they released actually an ad. I don't know whether you guys remember, there was a 1984 ad that Apple released with Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak released. Do you know about that ad? A commercial?
I'm sorry, just quick interference. Wasim, can you put the mic on mute because we can hear a lot of disturbance. Thank you very much, Wasim.
So
Go
Apple
on, Ramesh.
basically launched a commercial, like an ad, in 1984, because at that time computers were supposed to be, like at least the governments were pushing for computers to be used only by enterprises, right? Like IBM. Only the big IBM's argument was that only big corporations should use computers, like regular people should not use computers. And Apple was basically launched an ad saying, it's for
It was
everyone, right? Our product is for everyone. So
it was
just
shown on
like
the
that.
Super Bowl this thing, right?
Yes,
The big ad.
yes,
It
yes.
made a
The
historical
same
thing. Yeah, I
thing.
remember.
The funny
Yeah.
thing is, Fortnite did their version of it, showing that they're smashing the Apple's logo. They
Okay.
basically said, you were fighting against monopoly, but you have become that monopoly now.
That's a good one. Is it available on
Yeah,
YouTube?
yeah. I think it is. You can just maybe search Fortnite ad or something. Apple ad.
Fortnite. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy to see that. So I think,
Good one.
I hope Apple actually loses customers, because this is not good what they're doing. 30% is forcing 30% is too much.
Wow. So I think we need an alternative, like more places for people to surf with, and not just like one Apple and one Android right now. So hopefully there's more alternatives.
Yeah, web apps kind of fix that, as in you don't need to be listed on a store. But web apps are limited compared to the native apps.
Sure. What kind of checks do they really do to allow your app to be listed? I don't
They have a
think
lot
much.
of rules. One of the
Like
main
rules
thing
they
is,
have, but-
if you're receiving payments, 30% of that revenue has to go to Apple.
Okay. So the latest that I heard on one financial news was that there are rules for you to set up your app on the Play Store and the Apple Store, but then at a certain level, if you have a lot of money, you don't even have to go through that. Instead, because you paid a lot of money to them, your app can go as a standard on the phone directly when you buy it. Like you can't even delete them. Like you have to have them. They don't pass the regulation, but because they pay money, the app can straight away be loaded straight on the phone as the base of it. So you don't even have to go to Play Store to find them. They're not on the Play Store because they're not worthy of Play Store, but because they paid a lot of money, they're worthy of being on your phone, desktop phone's screen already, preloaded. So money speaks. When money speaks, bullshit walks. So that's what it is. So bullshit gets straight away posted on the screen. The beauty of Bitcoin is it's going to make a new set of whales, right? So the new set of whales will compete with the old whales who are colluding. So in the financial world, if you see a set of rich people, set of rich whales, those whales are always connected together. So whatever they do in terms of manipulation, they all work together. And even if some people do it and some don't, the others who don't question, is because it's in their advantage. They're actually squeezing out the rest of the world, right? So the beauty of crypto whales is that crypto whales don't necessarily collude together like that, because the ones who have a lot of crypto don't necessarily disclose, or like banks, they already know who big whales are. In crypto, not necessarily everybody knows who big whales are, and then they don't collude together. And this was my experience when I was traveling. There's one guy from Switzerland that I met, and he was boasting about how Switzerland is so nice with those banks that they have. And this was the new, Bitcoin was pretty new at that time. It was like one of those guys that I told about Bitcoin. After that, he was like amazed. He was like, wow, there is an alternative like this and things like that. But when he was boasting about his bank, he forgot that those banks are crooks, because what are they doing? They are actually taking black money of the people, right, to store in Swiss banks. You're actually letting somebody steal people's money and securing that money only because you take advantage of that. Eventually, Swiss banks take advantage of that money that you store with them, because 100% of the money never gets used. Always banks work on a fractional reserve. That means up to 96% is really not withdrawn by the people. And especially in black money that they hold, maybe 98% they can hold, and only 2% of the money is really withdrawn by the people. The rest just stays there, and then they use it. So they're such crooks and make it look like so nice that they're actually taking crooks' money from out of the world, out of Switzerland, from everywhere in the world, store it in their country, and actually use that money for their benefit. That's banking for you. For those who didn't understand the real depth of it.
Vikram,
Mm.
when you mentioning this Swiss related dealings, I come
Yeah.
across a very funny news.
Go on.
It is actually it's reality. The Swiss government was amassed mass wealth which was looted from almost 195 countries by all the big elite people, and it was stashed in entire Swiss banks. Okay,
Yes.
so the pool is so huge, there is no few accounts, there is no claim at all, because this the poor human mankind, they simply dumped money and it was gone without any. How the LIC in India, LIC, there are plenty of policies but no claim. So same
Yeah.
way in Swiss also it is happened, and government given an option to all the Swiss citizen. Let's say government now decided to give certain amount to every citizen's account without any obligation. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
with the surveyor, with a survey questionnaire they have submitted. Okay, now government is going to handle this much of amount to you in every month in your account without any obligation. So if this has been accepted, what you are going to do? Are you going to stop your present activities of revenue making, or how you are going to spend this money? So it's a simple questionnaire they asked. But what is the
Ah.
feedback they got from the Swiss citizen, you know?
What?
Yes, they didn't give any changes, whatever it may be, because they are living a heaven life here in the entire world. So they simply said, no, whatever is there, the government is going to give. We are not going to change our lifestyle, our way of making revenues. So they have given a very clear information to the government. Nothing is going to change their lifestyle, their way of earning, their way of spending and all. So whether that was implemented or not, I don't know. But this is how the Swiss is really enjoying the global money from across the world.
Yeah, they're stealing people's money. It's very clear.
Of course,
And they
of course,
give
of
what
course,
something is called. There's a word for it. It's called dole. So dole is given to those people in their own country. Like England gives dole to those English people. And what happens after giving dole is they say that they're going to work, but they never get to work. And every week they have to go and collect their dole. When they have to go and collect their dole, they have to inform what they did in the last week. When they were arranged this interview, did you go and attend the interview? Did you work? So they have an answer every week. So that's what they're good at, mouth. So they go back in the queue to the government office, collecting their dole. While collecting, the guy asked them question. Last week we arranged an interview for you in this hotel. Did you go and work? And that English guy, his standard answer: yes, I went to work. I worked there, but this happened. That's what happened. I couldn't go back because okay, I don't want to give those reasons, but they are so silly sometimes. And they use those silly reasons and they say they didn't go back to work because they are happy to get that dole money, the free money that the government is giving them, just to keep those people on their side and not learn about real finance and real economics of the world. And if they're doing it at that government level, which even US did, right? US was giving out some thousands of dollars now in this Corona time, just so that people keep their mouth shut in a way. And that will continue, like Switzerland would do it. And an honest country like Libya used to give out a lot of money to their people, of course, because Libya was really wealthy in terms of holding gold. But of course, when they wanted to use that gold to do a global trade, along with Saddam and other guys, they were wiped out of the face of the earth. They're like, oh, guys, you have gold, you want to do trade with gold, we'll take you off. But anyway, luckily that we have superpowers who are trying to do outside the gold. US dollars, which is China and Russia.
Of course.
You would like to see what kind of conflict that will happen, that will bring, because already just a week ago that I heard the news that more than 50%, like I said, has been done. Trade has been done between these two countries without the need of USD. I hope that becomes 100%, and then zero value for the paper that they can burn and use for heat only. Like the rubles happened a couple of years ago, couple of decades ago. So this happens. So very, very few people would understand what Swiss banking is all about. But in terms, they think it is very great. Just because they make these small things of watch, which is also redundant now. It's all gone to electronic, and they don't necessarily do those kind of things. They do all those small movements, which are old style. Maybe they still do those nice chocolates. That's the only USP that they have now. I don't see anything else the Swiss have.
I know a mentor in Chennai who is a defense advisor for Indira Gandhi and finance advisor for CK Birla.
Okay.
They appointed Indira Gandhi formed a committee to give some economic reformation to eradicate the black money and unaccounted handling of currency and all. So a very famous economist from Chennai is a Madras School of Economics MSc, Mr. Raja Ram Kannan. He is the head of that committee, and the decision the suggestion what they have given to the Indira Gandhi's panel.
Yeah.
Instead of putting income tax on the salaries,
yes,
we can change the tax regime to the spending side. Okay, whatever money. Yes. You let the people spend. Whether how they stash and all, we don't know, because how the money was manipulated by unaccounting ways. No mechanism is there to stop that, unless otherwise the cash is completely eradicated. Okay, let them do whatever it may be, but while on spending, you just charge 2%. Just 2% open flat charge. Let the people spend. How they earn money, it's immaterial. You are not at all. Still today, nobody is going to crack it. How they amassed, because it goes to every corner of the world. But for this proposal, where is the first defenses came from? Bankers.
Okay.
Bankers and the CAs.
Okay.
These two people only.
Isn't this the? Go on.
Yes, these people only objected that plan. No, how we will survive?
Okay. Isn't this government now, the BJP government is trying to do the same thing, that they should be taxed on one side only, not maybe take out the income tax and keep it only on the spending. They're talking about that. That's
anyway, that is GST. GST is that form only, no? GST is something like that
but
only.
There is income tax also and GST also. So you'd actually taxed on when you earn and then taxed again when you spend. So there should be double tax. Is what again it may happen, which if it happens it's great, and at least at the level that up to a certain amount is not taxed, which is fine. But like you said, if they're not paying tax, they're trying to hide money, like with their income. When they're buying, they should pay. That's makes sense. Then at least everybody can exercise their money rights. If they have really earned that, they should be able to spend it. Only while spending, if they're taxed, that's pretty good.
Of course. 2% flat means people will lavishly spend. The economy will roll out. Now, this entire pandemic, they have stopped the public transportation, which is really stops the economy to the such level, and it will take minimum 3 years to gain the same normalcy what the economy was reached and set in a level.
True that. And whatever you said as a point is actually considered in the West also. And to make the economy boom, they give you money to spend, right? That's how they make you spend the one that you don't have also, through credit cards, through loans, and through easy access to money for whites only, of course, for mortgages. That way they're trying to push the economy move quicker. But then there are better ways to do it. But then I think the better way is not exercised because the control is lost by the banks. Hopefully this cryptocurrency and all those things are trying to make that change there.
They introduced a UBI only with this pandemic only, no? UBI, Universal Basic Income. Have you heard about it? UBI.
Yes, I've heard about it. I did not hear the whole details. Go on.
It is $1,200 in US.
Yes. You're talking about the US
US. People are already getting $1,200 every month in their account by way of some card payment, and they are using the card in all the shops, grocery shops and all. They're making the living because the employment is completely wiped out, and all the big job generating industry, they have said AI, IoT, it's making the manufacturing so easy. There is no point of recruiting people because the Melinda Trump's daughter, their entire team, they approached all the big MNCs to generate a lot of employment, which was completely abruptly it was denied because when they approach Toyota and Honda, these big companies, they really told the reality. Even we don't have any job because the automation industry is going such a full-fledged automation. Even a single person can handle such a big factory with the complete automation. So just don't get hesitated. There won't be any job generation in the future. So we people are ready to give you some contribution to the country. So you just work out some UBI for every citizen. So 1,200 rupees already tested. It's a social engineering they are already doing. In last parliamentary election in Tamil Nadu, Congress government is started to give a election manifesto itself. 6,000 rupees per month for Pondicherry citizen. It's in the election agenda itself.
Wow, that's a lot of money actually. That's pretty
6,000
good for
rupees.
people to spend without doing any work then.
So it is an experiment.
But again,
Actually,
I think that's yeah, totally. In the US, it's called a trickle down effect. I think they gave that money, but they said there was going to be for a short while only. Not necessarily they're going to keep pumping money into people's hands. Okay, so that was great chat again.
Romit is there. Romit?
No, Romit just left, so we just said bye to him.
Vikram, this using UPI with our Zapit wallet, it is a typical UPI spending what the presently available with other payment gateways. The same thing we can use it in our Zapit also, no? UPI.
Yes. I think that is something that he's going to promote soon, because you can go to a merchant and then make merchants understand that instead of using PhonePe and Paytm, they can use directly Zapit now.
So how the charges it differs?
No, the charges are not there because it's UPI is a free payments, right? There are no charges for that.
But wallets, see, Google Pay is using UPI only, right?
Yeah.
UPI handle, right? So is there charging or not? Google Pay?
No, they're not charging. When I use Google Pay, they're not charging. Same as you Zapit, you will not be charged. Instead, you will get those tokens as rewards. So those random tokens, you definitely get a reward. Unlike Google, where they don't give you cash, sometimes it says try again next time. That doesn't happen with Zapit. You straight away definitely get some tokens. And now these tokens are valued very nicely on memo.cash. On memo.cash, you put it out for sale. A lot of people are buying these for Bitcoin Cash. So they're really valuable and you make some money out of your UPI payments.
Oh, okay. So for that first world community, if I told all the members who are elite members or digital members, if I refer them to go for open their Zapit wallet, then they can use as a typical wallet where the UPI can be usable, right?
Yes, very right.
Okay.
And also now if they understand crypto, they can hold your Bitcoin Cash also on it, the cryptocurrency also on it. And then with those UPI payments, when they get a reward, right, that SLP tokens, that also is stored on the wallet. Only when they want to sell it or liquidate it, they will automatically understand what these tokens are, where it's sold, where it's bought on memo.cash, those kind of websites. And they'll quickly learn about crypto also. So UPI payments is a gateway. That's how Zapit is built.
Okay. Chalo, Vikram, we will talk once this FWC deal at the earliest, because already I've informed about the referral points and all, so they are happy to enjoy it because the subscription is going in a bigger way. The reference is happening so fast because elite member itself is coming with some 50 to 60 people from a single entity. The single guy is exposing like this, so we can scale up this in a very short period.
Definitely. Do speak about Insta Crypto also, because if they are understanding cryptocurrency and they want to use it, they can straight away buy, because a little difficulty is there to get hold of cryptocurrency from Zapit. Through payment partners, it's available, but with Insta Crypto is an instant buy. So if they want it instantly, they can always use Insta Crypto also.
Okay. Let we discuss again, and before launching it out, maximum by Monday we will have a clear plan how to push it out.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Sure. So yeah, hi guys. I think we're going to be having this last 10 minutes. So if you guys want to jump in, want to ask any more questions, or want to understand something more about crypto, let's do that. Vinod, are you still there? Are you able to hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. Any other point that you had thought of that you wanted to chat about, and
Um,
let's.
Nothing else. I would rather take a conversation private because it is more related to what I want to do.
Go on. If there is something that we can talk about it, just a super, like on the top here, and then if you want to do detail in it, we can do that later.
Yeah, I mean, mostly regarding payments and trading platform and all that stuff. Somehow, I'm. This is my first meeting. I'm not that comfortable yet.
No, 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 not to worry. It's like if you were looking at, like in the beginning, you said that you were interested in a trading platform for yourself, right?
Yes. Yeah. Right. Right.
There are a lot of trading engines on sale, for sale, from people around the world now. Just look up
Right.
online and they'll be able to give you a demo online. You can understand what exactly you need. There are few differences in the trading engines. Some of
Okay.
them are like an instant, of course, matching trading engines. In that also there is frequency, there is speed, there is different tokens that's availability. They're all there out there. If you search them and then email them, they'll be able to give you an online demo, and then probably the worst part is then you'll have to get that white labeled. So that means they will be part owners and directly they will take
Yeah. You know.
part of your share profit. So
Right.
that
Right.
way it's going to be like that. But do you have like builders who are coders that you're going to sit with and then get this coded?
Yeah, I have figured out a company which builds this stuff. They already built some exchanges.
Okay, okay.
So my thing is more towards what is the regulations, bank regulations, this, that, and more like a legal and these terms, which I want to know more.
Trading is completely legal, you know that, right? So
No,
if
no,
you
no,
have,
that is fine. That is
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
But what sort of bank license I should take and all these things, which I want to do in a little bit private discussion. I don't want in a.
Well, I can tell you that there is nothing private about it. We looked into many bank licenses, including NBFCs.
Mm,
It's called the non-banking financial sector licenses, but those are expensive. And then since there is no regulation around it in
mhm,
India, it makes no sense to take any license. And all these exchanges that's there out there, if you
mhm.
look up on bitcoinrates.in, there are so many exchanges, and none of these exchanges have any license. Because what is the point in paying so much and getting a license when
Right.
India doesn't even recognize in what license that you need for it? Maybe
Right.
when they regulate it, then they'll give you a buffer time. Then they will ask you, so this is what we consider Bitcoin to be or cryptocurrency to be. And this is the appropriate licenses that you should have to continue using as trading platform. Then I think whoever can sustain and buy those licenses, because they are not cheap. Even
Mhm.
NBFC being the cheapest one was something in crores. So makes no sense at all. Then if the people who understand cryptocurrency and want to run an exchange don't have money to get those licenses, and those who have licenses and are running it using that license don't have the brains to run a crypto exchange. So uh, this gap is going on, was going on before, and it's still there, almost there. But of course, if you can see today, a lot of your Mumbaikars, like the Maharashtra, Bombay people, are into trading of crypto.
Mm, mm.
Because like this meetups, when I did physical meetups in Bombay, I realized that Bombay guys are so smart about trading. It is no match to anybody. May not
Right.
be just crypto, but any other, just trading. They're very good at it.
Right. Right. I mean, I think that's a financial hub, no? So you
Yeah,
might expect a lot of people there. And
yeah.
okay,
Go
so
on.
you are no more part of Unocoin, is it? Other than holding shares, Vikram?
No, I'm just yeah. I don't want to be in the complete operations part of it because I'm running something else. My idea now is to build more and more exchanges, which is diverse exchanges, right? So
Mhm.
Unocoin is a custodian exchange. So this Insta Crypto that I'm building is a non-custodial exchange.
I see. I
The
see.
idea is very clear that you want to have an alternative. You want to have the variety for everybody. Tomorrow, if there is any hacking, you don't want to be responsible for losing people's crypto. In that format, Uno Coins hacking happened once, and I was the victim of it. My own cryptocurrency that I had stored in Uno Coin was the only one which was hacked. The
Oh,
hacker got
how
into
how did
the.
they get into your funds?
So they hacked into the the system, and once they got into the system, they could see who held how many bitcoins. And at that time, the maximum was held by me, which was held like about 9.5 bitcoins. So the hackers tried to withdraw all 9.5 together.
But tell me, Vikram, see, all the stories which I heard regarding hacking, there are these internal employees or operational things who are stealing these things. But
Mostly, yes.
yeah, but there is a very fraction, not even like 10% of these cases are complete hacking, like,
External
typical hacking.
hacking. Yeah.
Right. So how did they get, unless they know the password and everything, how did they get into your system?
So that's the beauty of it, right? That's what they're good at. So that's 1% out of those external hacking is what happened on UnoCoin. So they hacked into it, they got into it, and they realized that all the wallets had X amount of coins, and the one bigger one they tried to withdraw. Luckily, our systems was set in a way that anything more than one coin would be admin approved. So because it went to the admin, and then admin was my CTO, right? So he quickly called me and he said, "What happened? You tried to withdraw some at 4 in the morning?" I said, "Absolutely not. Why would I withdraw all that funds suddenly without your knowledge?" Then he said, "Okay, let me check and get back." Then eventually, when he checked, of course, there is no path from me to be logging in. There was absolutely somebody somewhere else they got in from.
But how? This is a good learning experience for us.
It is. So that's what we learned also, right? So technically, I may not be able to give you that explanation of what exactly happened in technical terms, how they got into it. So that, of course, our CTO Satvik would be able to mention that to you if you ever get to speak to him. But yeah, that happened, and then luckily, because they did it more than one coin, it didn't go. And if it had to do one or below one, if they had to withdraw, it would have gone. In that time, the one coin value would have been around, say, some 30,000-40,000. I think that would have been the price at that time then. So we had to put the limit there for hot wallets. So that's how
I see.
those
Wow.
kind of things happen. But anyway, those guys, hackers got lucky. We gave them 0.1. 0.01, sorry, not 0.1. I'm sorry. 0.01, 1/100th of a Bitcoin we sent it to that address just because they did a great job in hacking and showed us the way that they can be hacked.
But so I would be interested if you can find out that how they got into the system.
That is mostly technical that you're asking. Maybe I will not, even when I hear about it, I may not be able to explain it so well.
Okay.
Well, let's see. We'll keep that for the future. I'll try and understand it now again so that I'll refresh my mind or remember that. It's a good point. So yeah, so UnoCoin came along later after all that from the people. UnoCoin came out first, and then InstaCrypto came out later. InstaCrypto came out after understanding that yes, we could have more decentralized systems in a system where people need cryptocurrency, right? So they should be able to get that instantly. Waiting period is not what is very preferred. So we are still pursuing that on InstaCrypto. It's not completely automated yet. We're going step by step. Every step is a good good change. So with banking being the middle people, because we are a bridge between INR to crypto, right? So we have to get half the work done from the banks also. So hopefully we will get that soon. And once we get the complete support via API from a bank, then we will be completely automated. Okay. So it was great chat, guys. I think it's about it's good turnaround of days. Happy Independence Day again.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks a lot. See you
Thank
then.
you. See you, man. Mayank, is that you?
Yeah.
No, okay. Bye, Vinod. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Vikram.
Vikram,
Bye.
if I have questions, I will message you on your
Today we're going to be talking about the financial freedom with crypto. Sorry, my bad. That was a disturbance there. Go on.
So if I have any questions, I will message you privately. Okay.
Sure. You can do that.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Hi, Praju. Can you hear us? Prajul, are you there? Okay, so yeah, Mayank, do you want to come on the Telegram call?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, bye here.
Bye.